Hi, our names are Sejal, Disha, and Riddhi, and we are in Group 1 of Human-Computer Interaction in fall 2025. And today we're presenting our tool called MOSAIC.
So the sustainable development goal that this project addresses is quality education, which aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. MOSAIC supports this by focusing on the specific needs of each child and how they learn, particularly neurodivergent children who may struggle in rigid single-style classroom environments. Research has also shown that typically one-size-fits-all instructions can widen learning gaps and exacerbate inequalities. And so with this tool, MOSAIC shifts classroom learning from rigid one-size-fits-all models to a flexible, human-centered, and a more accessible framework.
Our first persona is named Alice Smith, who is a 47-year-old middle school teacher in New York who wants to teach in an understandable way to students. Her pain points is that she doesn't want to spend hours on flashy slides and decorations. She's also worried about being replaced by AI, and she also feels that it is difficult to meet each individual child's learning needs. Her motivations for using MOSAIC is that she can make more personalized content for her students without spending a lot of extra time on its creation, and she can make informed decisions using her students' learning patterns. And then our second persona is named Miguel Garcia, who is 13 years old and lives in Boise, Idaho, and he's in middle school. For his pain points, he cares more about his athletic performance than academic performance in school because he finds it really difficult to concentrate in class. So he feels like he performs better in those physical environments, and he specifically finds reading long passages of text quite difficult. And his motivation for using MOSAIC is that his school district requires him to use MOSAIC as the learning management system for all of his classes, and all teachers must post their content on MOSAIC. And then for the 3 tasks for Alice, first, Alice has to create and edit an already existing mind map for the scientific method, along to how a version that we have already created as a group. The second part is importing a mind map from the mind map library, and then editing a single node in that. And then the last is Alice is viewing her students' statistics on their current academic performance. And then for Miguel, he has 2 tasks. The first task is to complete his history homework for one of his history classes on the American Revolution using content provided in MOSAIC. And then the second part is he is viewing his own academic performance and seeing how he can improve his own performance.
So we are MOSAIC, and the purpose of the system is to make multimodal content accessible to students with different learning styles and backgrounds. Many current learning styles do not give many options to students that may benefit from different modes of content, be it audio, video, and text, or practice assignments. That way, if a student learns best using videos versus text, they have recommendations and content in the form of videos from the teacher itself. Hi everyone. I will walk you through how we conducted usability testing for our teacher persona, Alice Smith, using the MOSAIC Learning app. Our goal was to understand how easily a teacher can navigate the app, complete key tasks, and identify any friction points in their workflow. So I'm going to be a 47-year-old middle school teacher who wants to teach in an understandable way to students without spending hours on flashy slides and decorations. I feel that it is difficult to meet each individual child's learning needs, and the motivation for me to use MOSAIC is to make more personalized content for my students without spending a lot of extra time on its creation and make informed decisions using my students' learning patterns. So the first task for me is to create a mind map of the scientific method for my science class. A mind map is a diagram that connects related topics. So I have to edit the provided mind map following the example and then assign it to all my students. since it's the classes that I have to go to and create a mind map, I'll go and click on classes. And since I'm going to create a scientific method mind map, I'll go to any of my science classes. So I'll go to Science A, and I can see that there is already a scientific method mind map created. So let me go and look how it is. Okay, so I can see that there are nodes created already, and I have to like create a mind map viewing the example. So I can see there is an example here, and there is an image about how the nodes should be created. So we have a question, hypothesis, conduct an experiment, collect data, analyze information, report results. Yeah, it's pretty good. So let me just scroll down. Okay, so they have given me how we have to understand the mind map structure, the concept nodes, the learning modalities, what are the available learning modalities, the text, video, audio, practice, or quiz, and there are a few tips for creating my mind map. I'm pretty good right now with the content, so let's go and create it. I can see that all of the nodes are already created, but few nodes have not been added with text or video or any useful information, so I might just add a test saying that analyze this information, and I'll save the changes, and the changes have got updated successfully. I'll close the node. Great, there is a text that has got added, and since the node was report analysis, I would like to change the concept name as report analysis and add a text saying that please analyze the report. And okay, save changes. Node has got updated successfully, and we can see that there are a few more things, like we can save your progress. So whatever I have done, I can save the progress to it. I can either upload it to the mind map library so any other teacher can use it. I can assign it to the students, and I can also preview to see how the students will view this mind map. So let me click on preview, and I can see, okay, the updated stuff has been come here. Great. So if I click on this, I can see that either the student can listen or there are resources, read. Great. And if there is any video, I can click on this node, watch, listen. Great. So this is how my student will view the mind map. So let's go back to the editor, and the first task is done. Let us go back to the home screen. So my second task is that I have to create a metamorphosis mind map for my science class B, and instead of creating my own mind map, I have to import it using an already existing mind map created by any other teacher. And after I import that mind map, I have to add it to my class B and edit it then edit the first node of the mind map and add a video to it, and also assign it to class B again, and I have been provided with a link. So since I have to import a mind map, and I can see that there is something called browse and import templates to explore. So I'll click on this mind map library, and I can see there are already featured mind maps here: metamorphosis, water cycle, cell structure, constitutional convention. So this might be a history mind map. Let me see that. If I click on that, okay, I can see constitutional convention delegate. Great. So my task is to import a metamorphosis mind map. I can see it is already created by Dr. Sarah Chen. I'll click on it, and I'll click on import to class, and I get which class should I import to? Science B. Import to one class. Great, it has got imported. So let me go to my classes and see if it's got imported. Oh yes, it has got imported, and I can see there is a metamorphosis mind map already imported. Now let me go to one of the nodes and try to add the video link here. So there is an already updated video link, but I need to add this video link. So let me just quickly go ahead, copy it, and add it here. So let me save changes. The node has got updated successfully. Great. I'll close the changes, and I have to assign it to my science class B again, and I assign it to it. Yeah. So this has been done successfully. I have assigned it to my class. Now, the third task is to try to see my student level statistics. So I have to understand the modalities that were led to better learning outcomes, and also I have to see whether two students, Ava Martinez and Noah Davis, in my math class, how are they doing, how are they performing, and which students are struggling. So let me go back and go to this analytics dashboard. So I can see that in the analytics dashboard, for all my classes, I have the total students count updated. I have the average completion percentage and how many students need support. So the students needing a lot of support is Noah Davis and Eva Martinez. I can see that, but I need to see the statistics of my math class. So yep, the overview is I have 22 students and 85% completion. Let me go to the learning modalities. And in the learning modalities, I can see that there is statistics about how the content has been used, and there is info about the usage of content type graph and what are the effectiveness by the content type. And also I have few more information regarding how the learning modalities are great. The video content has the highest engagement at 45% usage and 88% percentages at effectiveness. So this is how the learning outcomes or modalities are leading to better learning outcomes. So I want to see the student performance. So I can see there is an average percentage for my class and the engagement score trends, and I can see my students, their performance, like each card says about my students and their performances, and I can see that there is Noah Davis and Eva Martinez. And yep, there are a few recommended actions already by MOSAIC, and I would have to connect with them because they are struggling and they have spent lesser amount of time than the other students. So this is how we conducted our usability testing for MOSAIC, and by observing all the participants' interaction with MOSAIC, we were able to gather valuable information that helped us refine the navigation, improve labeling, and create a smoother overall experience for educators using our platform. Thank you.
Hello, I'm going to be a student, a 7th grade student named Miguel, and I'm going to be doing the first task of our persona slash testing, usability testing, which is going to be accessing my US history assignment and using the mind maps to help complete it. So first I'm going to go to US history, and I'm going to go to the assignment that is due on October 23rd, and here I am a student that needs to do it. I don't really know the answers to this first question, so I'm going to go to view the mind map, and I'm going to go to maybe this text, and I see that, oh, it's the Constitutional Convention happened in 1787, and I have the option of clicking video or audio, but I'm going to choose text for now. I'm going to exit, and so now I would be able to answer these questions in any way I want to do it. So here I'm just going to pick random questions and answers just to show submission, submit homework. And so here I see I didn't do so good. So now I'm going to move on to my second task, which is going to see my progress and my dashboard. So here I can see different classes that I'm working on, and I see that history I am struggling a little bit, and so I kind of want to understand what is happening over here. So here it looks like I mainly use videos to go see context, and I also can see which ones I prefer more, and it seems like videos seem to be extremely effective for me. And here are some tips that I've gotten to maybe increase my grade. So here's something that I can do as a student to see what works for me so far. And so it seems like I am understanding more over time, but and it seems like videos are most effective for me. And so this is the persona.
Before I begin, I want to take a moment to talk about an important part of our design process. When we moved from our paper prototype to our medium fidelity prototype, we actually made very few changes, and that was a strong signal for us. Our core navigation stayed the same. The mind map editor worked the way users expected it to work. The analytics flow remained consistent, and even the teacher and student views didn't need rethinking. All we had to do were very small refinements like cleaner spacing, clearer icons, and most importantly, the iconography. So the foundation was already strong and it was validated early. Because of that, we didn't have to spend time fixing big structural issues. We could use that time to polish the experience, to improve usability, and most importantly, to bring more novelty into our idea. And that novelty is what makes MOSAIC stand out. MOSAIC is not just another learning management system. It's a unified platform where both teachers and students can create and interact with multimodal mind maps that adapt to different learning styles. Instead of only sharing assignments or grades, MOSAIC focuses on visual knowledge structures, personalized analytics, and truly adaptive learning. So let's see the behavior. So this is the persona one for the teacher. This was our paper prototype, which had like the home screen here with classes, marketplace, and statistics. And this gave the paper prototype when the user selects on classes, they go to this particular screen, and then if they want to go to the science class and want to create a scientific method, they saw all these topics, and this was the mind map, how it was ideated through this particular example diagram. So all of the tasks, so this was for the task one. Let's see for the task one for the teacher. So there is a classes button, and okay, we have the science class, mathematics class, history class, and so everything is present here. So we have given it a good spacing and good icons, and the labels are as suggested. And we, as soon as we click on our class, science class, we see the scientific methods and the like all of the topics, and if we click on that, we see the mind map. So basically the whole course structure is the same, and but then we have made few changes just on the icons and how it is visually represented. So it's here, like there is an add node, delete node, edit node, but then we, from the response that we got from our participants and evaluators during the usability testing, it was very clear that they could see the nodes, they could add the node. If they click on the node, they could have edited the node, and they can delete the node. So it is pretty self-explanatory there. And we added few more icons for save, trying to upload to the mind map library. This was one of the feedback that was given to us during the evaluation stage, and how to assign to students. So this is how our behavior looks like, even for the task 2, when the persona is trying to go through the mind map library. Previously we had marked it as marketplace, but since we got an feedback saying that we may use it for we can call it as a library because we are not paying it to get those mind maps imported, it would be good to call it as a mind map library. So we made that change as well. And you can see that this was the marketplace, how it looks, evolution with metamorphosis. There are many mind maps, and and if you click on any mind map, you will see the mind map here, structure here, and you can again import it to your class or add to your class, and you get a success message that it has got added. And it's the same thing that we have done here. We have the mind map library, and we have all the mind map mind maps here in the library, and we can import it to class, or we can just double click, see it, import it to class, and if you import it, we will just get a successful message. So okay, so these were things, and the course structure remained the same, but there were changes in the visual representation. Now third is the statistics, and that also remained the same. So if you go here, we get the analytics dashboard, and we have all the statistics for the learning modalities and student performance as it was shown before. So this is the behavior between a paper prototype and the medium fidelity prototype for our first persona, which is the teacher persona. For our second persona, the student persona, we have again the UI. If you see the paper prototype, we have MOSAIC. They come to their dashboard, they see all of their classes, and then if you go to the US history classes, they see their assignments or the content and what are the work to do. And if they click on assignments, they can look at what all assignments they have, and they can go to their homework. Once they go to their homework, they can either open in content and read the mind map and finish the assignment and submit it. So this was one of the tasks. So let's just dive into and see how our persona looks here. Yep, so the UI also matches more with the paper prototype. We have made good use of visual representation here for our medium fidelity, but the course structure remains the same. And if I click on US history, I can go to the work to do, announcements, and what all has got completed. So it's the same. And if I want to go to the work to do part, I can go to this particular assignment section, which is again as shown in the paper prototype. And if we click on the view mind map, we can see the mind map here. So this was also one of the feedback that was provided by the evaluators, that they said that you don't have to write open content because they would not know whether what content they're going to open. So they can have a good verbose, or the label of the button can be labeled better. So we labeled it to view mind map, and we could see that we had this mind map that has got open, and yeah, similar to that, and they can just answer all the questions and submit it. So this is the other persona and task one for it, and again the learning dashboard for it. So for our paper prototype, we did have the learning dashboard for our student, and it also provided them with tips. Some tips that was getting generated based on AI, and it was provided them then and there for in their dashboard. So this is how the paper prototype looks for it. We can go back and see the progress, yeah, the dashboard. So this is the learning dashboard, and you can see the progress for all classes, and what preferred learning modalities the student uses, like Miguel uses. It is personalized for Miguel, the student, and they can just see the tips that has got generated by MOSAIC. So if the student wants, they can generate more tips as well. So this is how our prototype works. And not to mention, after the before December 3, we had few key issues identified, like during the December 3rd evaluation, there were several usability and consistency problems that were highlighted. It included like the unclear technology, inconsistent button labeling, insufficient feedback during interactions, and difficulty locating shared mind maps. So we improved the button label consistency, as showed here for the content, as I mentioned. And previously, if you see for the teacher ones, we had named the mind map to just import this mind map, which was long and inconsistent with other import actions. So we changed the text to import to class for clarity and consistency across the systems. We added info feature for analytics view. So if they were having our participants were having difficulty in understanding what these graphs actually mean. So we we introduced an info tooltip, a feature explaining what each chart means, making the analytics more understandable. We renamed Marketplace to MindLab Library, as I mentioned, and then we display the classroom average and statistics graphs. So before we did not display any average percentage, but now we started displaying the average percentage for better understanding. And we started assigning mind maps to classes instead of individual students. Originally, teachers had to assign mind maps individually, which was inefficient, is what we got the feedback as. So now the assignments now occur at the class level, which streamlines the workflow and reducing workload. And thereafter this round, there are a few more additional improvements that were incorporated, which was the upload button, as I mentioned, that the teachers, they can now publish their mind maps to the shared library using a dedicated upload button. And there was improved accessibility through higher contrast body text. So there previously we had low contrast text, and it was hard to read for some evaluators. So now we have changed all the body text to darker with higher contrast for better accessibility. And also we updated our homepage design for easier navigation. We redesigned the homepage to feature clearer navigation, more prominent import buttons, and improved discoverability of the shared content. And also we added confirmation messages after saving. So if we click on save, from now on we'll get the confirmation that the changes have been saved successfully. So these are the changes that we have done before and after our feedback. Yep. Thank you.